And now let's really think about those shoulders being down and back and getting more air in and out with every breath. And check in and see if there's anything that feels different or not comfortable. And just give it a little focus. And really bringing that attention into your breath. Excellent. Now we're going to get a little more into our work here. We're going to take our feet so they're facing out. So again, open up your eyes. If you're comfortable where you are, you can stay there for a few more seconds or minutes. We're going to bring our arms up into cactus. Now your shoulders are just relaxed right now, but think about pushing them and pulling them back a little bit as opposed to being slouched with it. So with that breath, that opening, and then we're going to reach up, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. You're going to find your own rhythm and your own pace, and that's what you need to do. We'll do the workout together, but the breathing and the pace is up to you. And we're going to add that knee bend in. Knees are going out over our feet. One more. Here we go. Up. And exhale. Bring those hands out. Now sometimes I exhale through my mouth so that you can hear me with the exhale. It's hard to hear my exhale when I'm exhaling through my nose. But we should be breathing in and out through our nose through most of this. As long as you're breathing, honestly, that's the main point. So whatever feels comfortable for you. But if you do hear me exhaling through my mouth, it's so you can hear the exhale. All right, and we're going to bring our arms up. Now, if you have any shoulder issues, then you're going to want to stay shoulder distance apart. But if you're comfortable, you can bring them in. And exhale, inhale, exhale. Now we're going to add, it's a knee and hip hinge slight. Here we go. Making a big circle with our arms. Inhale, exhale. Nice big circle, we're drawing the sun. And one more. And exhale. Excellent. We're going to move into our first move that's towards the short end of the mat, and we're going to do a forward fold. So there's many ways you can do the fold depending on your abilities and how you're feeling today. So the basic forward fold, it would be from hands up all the way down, hinging from the hip and slight knee bend, and then coming back up. Now, you can also, if that's not comfortable for you, you can also support here and bring it up. Okay, so those are your options for the forward fold. Now you want your upper thigh to touch your abdominals. Exhaling, inhaling, my feet are parallel. And one more. All right, and bring our hands to our chest. And we're going to do chair, kind of like a squat. We're going to sit back. Inhale, arms to the side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now, your chair may look more like this. That's fine. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And the next one we're going to add, we're going to bring the arms all the way around to the front. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Excellent. And bring it down. All right, so we're going to do a couple more forward folds. I'm going to step to the front. Now we are going to go into downward dog, and that can be challenging for some people. So you do have options. If you have a couch or a piece of furniture that you can be firm and steady on, your knees are soft, and your downward dog could be here, okay? So that's fine. And then when you bring it up, if you want, when we do the plank, you could do the crocodile right there, okay? So that's an option as we get down on the floor, if you would like to try that option. Okay, so we're going to inhale, exhale to forward fold. We're going to step, walk, or jump our foot back. And we're going to find that first downward dog. Walk your feet and take a couple breaths. Excellent. We're going to go down into child's pose. So if you're standing, you're just going to go into that mountain pose and relax. And exhale. And inhale. And let's bring it up to tabletop. We may need to move your hands and feet so you're in a comfortable position with your hips over your knees and your shoulders over your palms. And we're just going to do a cat and cow. So we're going to inhale and round and exhale and release. Inhale, exhale. And again, this is to what you're comfortable with, both concerning the move and the speed. Now, if you're standing, you can have your hands on your thighs, and you can do the cat and the cow that way. Excellent. We're going to go back into child's pose. Take a couple breaths in and out slowly. All right, we're going to reach forward and we're going to bring it up to the kneeling plank. Inhale, exhale, bring it down. Inhale, back to child's pose. We're going to do this a few times. Inhale. Now you may just stay in the plank. Exhale. You may just bend your elbows a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. And back into child's pose. And you can also put a fist, 2 fists underneath. That's very relaxing. Let's take a couple breaths here. And let's go back up into downward dog. And let's step or walk our legs. And then reverse forward fold, reverse swan dive. And you may, when you're coming up on those, you may just walk yourself up with your hands on your thighs, okay? Excellent. We're going to just do one more. Down to the floor and back up. Inhale. Exhale. Take the opposite leg back. Downward dog. Inhale. Exhale down into child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We're going to do one more. You can stay in child's pose if you want to. Tuck your toes. You can stay in child's pose if you want, downward dog otherwise. And we're going to walk those feet back up. You can also jump if you're adept at that. All right, good. All right, we're going to do a couple transition poses here. The first one we're going to do is a standing lateral flexion. So we're in mountain pose, and that's just our basic pose. Palms out. Let's take a couple breaths to get our pressure back stabilized. Excellent. And you can support here or here. You're going to bring that arm up, and you're reaching from the heel of the foot all the way through the hand. And then as we take some sinking breaths, that means we're just sinking a little further into it each time. And bring it back up. And the other side. Inhale. Exhale. You can support here, and the stretches from the bottom of the foot to the hand, that's straight up toward the ceiling. And let's sink a little further if you're able. And one more. Very good. We're going to do a chest expansion. I'm going to use a strap, and I'm going to reach around the back, and I'm going to try and keep my wrists relaxed, pull my chest open, pulling those palms of my hands towards each other. I'm going to take a little more strap out of there and do 2 more breaths. In, out, in, and out. Feel that nice and open up through your chest area. That's what we're trying to do. Open up our chest without irritating our wrists. All right, we're moving into our warrior poses. We're going to take one step back, and it may be a short step. You may be here, or you may be a little further. Making sure that our knee doesn't go, start with your knee over your ankle, and that'll give you a little room to move. Inhale, relax your shoulders. Inhale. And now if you're able to sink down a little more and reach a little higher. And one more. Bring it up. We're going to turn the back foot towards the long end of the mat. My front foot is still facing the short end of the mat. Now I know that I'm going to need to wiggle this foot back a little bit, so now's when I'm going to do it. It's just going to depend. It may take a few times, or you may be a pro and be able to find the exact spot. So I'm going to try to get this knee over this ankle. We're going to lift our arms, and we're going to breathe in, exhale, stretching our fingers toward the opposite walls, opening up that hip. Now I'm going to look out over my front fingers and really reach and sink a little bit more into that front leg. Excellent. I'm going to reach back with that back arm, and then like the lateral stretch, we're going to reach up for the ceiling, keeping these hips open, facing forward, and we're going to inhale, and you might be just here, it can feel a great stretch here. If you'd like to take it down a little more, let's exhale into it. Let's bring it back up. Now keeping this lower body form, we're just going to reach this front arm so our forearm is above our knee. And again, we're going to reach, lengthen toward the ceiling. Now if that feels good and your feet are balanced, and you should feel like you're pulling your feet apart from each other, like you're stretching your mat out. And if you want to add a little more and are able, it's hard with the balance, you can look up at that hand. Continuing to breathe all together. And return. If you need to, you can push up here. Let's straighten that front leg. And now we're going to put our arms back out like we're in second, and we're going to reach forward. Then we're going to place that hand above or below your knee, and our knees are slightly bent but basically straight. And you're going to slide down. Now, the hip does tip here, and that is okay, but we still want this facing forward. Inhaling and exhaling through our nose. If you want, you can look towards a hand. It's perfectly fine to keep your gaze straight ahead. Reaching, reaching, reaching for that ceiling. Reaching down through that hand that's on your front leg. And carefully bring it back up. And let's bring it to the short end of the mat, back to mountain pose. Take a couple breaths here in mountain. Now for the next move, we're going to do warrior 3. So it's a balance pose. Your arms could be here. Your arms could be here. You could even support here above your knee, or you might have something that you can move to easily and hold on. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Straight leg is bent slightly, back foot is flexed, And let's breathe. Let's bring it back up. And down. We're going to do a quick sun pose in the middle here before we do the other side. Change it up a little bit. We're going to bring our feet out like we did for the sunflowers at the beginning. We're going to just bring our hands to the side, palms up, and we're going to bend our knees out over our ankles. Feet are facing out, and we're going to take some breaths here. That chest opening stretch. Think about opening that chest here. Very good. Let's bring our hands back down. We're going to do mountain pose. Inhale. And one more. We're going to step back with the opposite leg of what we did last time. You're going to find that comfortable position where your hips are facing forward. Fingertips are reaching up, shoulders relaxed. Inhaling and exhaling. Really expanding on the inhale. Sink into it a little more, so inhale and exhale. If you can, bring it down a little bit. Spread those toes. All right, we're going to bring that back heel. So our heels are basically in alignment. My knee is over my ankle, and I'm trying to open up my hips to the back long end for me. And then we're going to reach, so the front leg's bent, back leg's straight, a little loose in the knee. Let's check out over our back hand, making sure our hands are reaching for the walls, and inhaling, exhaling. And on this exhalation, try to go down a little deeper. Gazing out over the front hand. Now keeping your legs the same, we're going to slide the back hand down and reach the front arm toward the ceiling, reach up. Check in with your hips, make sure they're still facing the long end of the mat. Reaching up with your arm and apart with your legs. And bring it back to Warrior Two. We're going to bend from the hip and put our forearm above our knee. So my knee's over my ankle. I'm having to readjust just a little. And then open your chest towards the long end of the mat and reaching up. Sink a little lower in this last one. And support yourself back up. Arms into Warrior Two, so reaching and reach forward. and then tip over. Now you may just be here, that's fine, where you're comfortable, or you can slide that hand down. And exhale and slide a little further, reaching straight up, and you can look at that top hand if you're able to. And let's bring it back up. And let's go to mountain at the short end of your mat. And we're going to do warrior 3. So get your foot in contact with your mat. Make sure your foot's parallel. And again, your arms could be straight up. They could be out to the side. You can support on the standing leg. Here we go. Slight bend in that standing knee. And let's breathe in and out. And hold it. Hold the pose, not your breath. Flex that back foot. And let's bring that back up. Woo! I am definitely warm now. All right, let's take a little break. I'm going to do tree pose. So our feet are parallel. I'm going to bring this now. If you can just turn, soft knee, turn this hip out. You can be here. Or you can bring it up so your foot is against your calf. Or you can bring it all the way up to the inner thigh so your knee is out. I have a hard time holding that. I can get it up there, but it doesn't want to hold. And let's bring our hands to heart center. Now remember, you can touch your toe down, okay? And if you want, let's bring it here and breathe. Try to open up that hip a little bit in the last breath. Bring the hands back down. And then the foot down. And let's get ourselves set for the other side. You may just have a toe down. Again, this leg's forward, this leg's out. And let's bring that foot up. Bring those arms up. It is an option. Shoulders relaxed. And let's bring that back down. Very good. I'm going to do some more stretching. So the first one, you can do this standing or you can kneel. It's just our basic shoulder stretch that we do a lot of. And we're just going to bring it across our body. Now the shoulder here, the one you're stretching, is nice and relaxed. And really focus on your breathing. Switch. And I'm going to come down into the kneeling, but you don't have to. Really fill those lungs up all the way. Let's bring it down to the floor. We're going to bring our feet as far as we comfortably can apart. Feet are just neutral. Now you may have to lift up a little bit. Your feet may be closer, that's fine. And we're going to stretch forward, hinging from the hips. So there's a couple ways we can do that. Now make sure you're breathing in and out slowly and steadily. And we can press forward. You may have your hands here. You might even be here, depending. Remember, your spine's in neutral, so we're not leaning over. We're not arching our upper back into it. And then if you want, you can bring your palms down and pull a little bit gently. Walk it back out. We're going to put the soles of our feet together. Wherever they are that's comfortable, they may be quite a bit of a distance, or you may be able to pull them in further. So wherever it feels comfortable for you. You're sitting up tall. And here, we're not really pulling. We're just gently, but it's all coming from your hips. The bending is at the hips. It's breathing in. On the next one, let's try to get a little deeper. All right, let's come all the way down onto our back. Bring our knees into our chest. Try to keep your tailbone down and your shoulders relaxed. Keep the neutral spine. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit. And let's straighten those legs. Now we're going to be very careful with this move. We're going to bring one leg up. Relax your shoulder blades. Now I'm going to scooch my hips just an inch or two towards that bent knee, leaving the bottom leg straight, and then I'm going to lean the top leg over. Now you can support here, or you can put your arms out, and continuing to breathe. Relax those shoulders. If you want a little more, you can look to the side opposite that your knee is, keeping your shoulders down. And bring it back to neutral. And switch legs. You're going to have to realign those hips. And then take your hips an inch or two towards the bent leg. And then I actually put my bottom of my foot to the side of my knee, and then let gravity pull it over. Both shoulders should be down. Bring it back to neutral. And now we're just going to get into a comfortable position. Relax your shoulder blades underneath you. Your feet can be out, palms up, or you can have your knees bent and in towards each other with a neutral spine. closing our eyes. We're just going to rest and breathe and relax. And thank you for joining me this evening. Hopefully you're all relaxed and can have a nice evening and sleep well. Maybe not on the floor.